In this video we're going to talk about the different modes that's available in our access point. So click your admin as login, that's the default password. Go to wizard, and this is where you change the different modes that's available. So we're in access point mode at the minute. That's the mode that you're most likely going to use. When you receive the access point, it's in gateway mode. And the reason we use gateway mode is because it's very easy to connect initially to the access point. In gateway mode, the method of connection would usually be through a mobile phone, perhaps, where you would simply connect to the ProWifi SSID and then type into your browser on the phone 192.168.188.253. And that's the default IP for this interface in gateway mode. It's a very easy way of getting to this point where you can change to access point mode. So you don't need to use static IPs or anything like that. You would simply do as we've just said, click in, log in on admin, go to wizard and select the mode that you want to connect through, which would normally be access point mode. Now you can leave the access point in gateway mode. The downside to doing that is that anything that is connected to the other side of your network, the other side being a non-Wi-Fi method of connection, perhaps it's a hardwired PC that's connected directly to the router, or perhaps it's a wireless printer that's connected directly to the Wi-Fi's router. That wouldn't be visible to anything that's connected at the other side of the access point. So anything that's connected to our access point wouldn't be able to see the printer, because basically you're creating two networks. You've got a local network that's coming from the router, and you would have a secondary network that is controlled via the access point, so two lots of IPs there. Nothing wrong with doing that. You could connect the Wi-Fi printer to the access point, and then it would be available to anything that connects to the access point, but then the printer would lose its visibility to anything that's connected on the other side. So you've got to think about how you're going to lay out the products, the devices that you've got, and perhaps gateway mode might not be the best mode, which is why we suggest moving it to access point mode. In access point mode, everything's transparent. You can see everything on your network. Anything that connects to the access point on the Wi-Fi would be visible to anything else that's connected via the router. So that's ideal method of connection. And if you click access point mode, now this is the LAN settings. This is where the Wi-Fi access point is going to get its IP from. So the gateway is your router, or the customer's router. So get IP from gateway is what you would normally select here. Might be different installations require different methods, but static IP perhaps, or get IP from an access controller. That's if it's going through our access controller that's available now. But generally, if you're just installing a very basic install and the IP is coming from the customer's router or your router, then get IP from gateway is what you'd select, and click next. Now this is the 2.4G, as it says there, settings. You can switch 2.4 off altogether. There's more and more routers coming through nowadays that have actually got 2G switched off. So if you really want to do that, you can switch just the 2G off. That's that little switch there. SSID is the name that would pop up on your phone or your device, so you know which access point you're connecting to. And we've just got ProWifi 2.4G default SSID. You can add the SSID altogether, bit of a security idea. So if you know the SSID, you can type it in manually and it would connect, but it wouldn't display on your phone, so it hides the SSID. You can alter the bandwidth depending on what you're doing, 20, 40, or automatically split between 20 and 40. Ideally, if you've got a TV connected to it and it's a HD streaming TV, you'd want to increase the bandwidth. The channel, could leave it on automatic. I personally like to select a channel so I know where it is. Encryption, you can either have it open, which we suggest not, or encrypted, and in encrypted you enter a Wi-Fi password there, and that's the password that would be asked on your device when you connected to the SSID. So click next, and same again but with 5G. So you can switch the Wi-Fi on and off, change the SSID, the name of the 5G Wi-Fi signal, hide the SSID altogether. Same applies with the 2G, where you can hide the name of the Wi-Fi, makes it a little bit more secure. The bandwidth, again, as with 2G, you can alter the bandwidth, 20, 40 and 80 this time on 5G. Again, you'd use something like that if you're streaming high data HD signals from a TV or something like that. You can increase the bandwidth if needed. Change the channel, again you could leave it on auto. I personally prefer, like I said earlier, to select a channel so I know where it's on. And interestingly enough, some devices do struggle with, on 5G only, do struggle with certain channels. So if, for example, you've connected the access point and you can't see your 5G signal, a tip there is to select channel 36. 36 is seen by practically every device. So if you've got, for example, a Samsung phone that doesn't see the 5G signal, just select channel 36 and you're probably going to see that come back on. Encryption speaks for itself. You can either have it open or encrypted. I would suggest encrypted every time. And the Wi-Fi password, whatever the password is that you want, the default's there at the minute. That's what we use for all our ProWifi devices. And timing. Timing reboots the Wi-Fi. So you can do that once a day, every day, every 8 days, every 10 days, whatever you set there. If you're not going to use it, you can switch that off. Click next, and that configures everything. There we go, saves complete, and you're back to the login screen. And just log back in, like so, and you would see the operation mode would have changed from whatever it was to whatever you've just set it to. So that's, just check up there to make sure that it has actually changed. And that's how you change modes.